what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beast for Build. In today's episode, we got a lot of mountain to do. Not like mountain like mountain, but like mounting. We gotta mount the radiator. If we get that done, which we will, I will get that done today. We're gonna try and mount the dashboard, or get close to it. Maybe just the dash bar, who knows. Then we get that done, we're gonna try and mount the brake booster, and if we get that done, we're gonna mount the brake pedal. Lots of mountain to do. Stay tuned. Before we get started, I want to take a second out to thank our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Honey. What is Honey? Honey is a free shopping tool that automatically searches the internet for the best promo code every time you buy something online. It works on over 30,000 different sites, and if you're like me, I have to do a lot of shopping for this show to get everything that we need. So when I'm on eBay or Amazon, I use Honey. It's there. It saved me hundreds of dollars. I also signed up for Honey Gold, which is another free thing that they have available, and I just got my gift card for 50 bucks back, and it's all just free. It all runs in the background. It's completely no hassle. It's pretty awesome. The average Beast for Build user that has installed Honey has saved over $39 to this point, which is pretty crazy, and a discount percentage of average percentage of 16%. It's super easy to install, guys. I highly recommend you just pause this video right now and go do it. You go to joinhoney.com/build, click once, click twice, and it's installed in your browser. You're good to go. Like I said, with the average user saving 39 bucks, that's enough to get you your next oil change. As long as you don't have an M5, those are a little bit more expensive. But it's on the house, it's free money. Guys, there's absolutely no reason not to install this today. So click the link in the description or go to joinhoney.com/build and add Honey to your browser today. All right, now I gotta start working on that radiator mountain. Like I talked about yesterday, we're gonna go ahead and start building the beginnings of a front impact bar off of this front frame rail. We're not gonna actually build the bar that comes across because we don't know where the rest of this front end lands, really. We've never permanently mounted the fenders, and we're not gonna do that until we move on to the body work side of things. We're trying to stay focused on the engine stuff here. So I'm gonna build the posts that come out. I'm gonna give them a little extra real estate, so just in case. And to build those posts, we need to first have something for them to bolt onto. So that is the frame rail right here. So we're gonna build plates. We need one plate for this side and then one plate for the backing of our impact bar. So I gotta cut out 4 plates and then drill 4 holes in each plate, which is 4 plates and 16 holes. I better get started now. All right, I got all my pieces of metal cut. These are 4.5 inches by 3 inches to be welded on there. I've scoped out where I want to drill my holes, so now I'm going to drill my holes. Meanwhile, while I'm doing that, we got a new face in the shop. That's Oscar over there, and he's helping Eric today, and they're working on getting the dash bar, which we uninstalled a while ago, behind our dashboard so we can get that kind of mounted into here. That way, once we have that, then we know where our steering column goes, and we can start working on mounting our steering column and brake booster and stuff like that. Okay, the guys got the dashboard test fit in here once again, but this time it has the dash bar on the inside. You can see it right there. So what Eric's gonna go ahead and do is jump underneath and temporary tack weld in some supports that hold the dash bar exactly where it is right now. Then they're gonna take the dashboard itself off, so then he has room to weld in the real supports for the dash bar. We are welding the dash bar firmly into the car because we don't have the big heater and cooler unit, and that's the reason I believe that it bolts in and out, is because you have to take it out to mess with your heater and cooler unit. Since we don't have that, anything that's going to go behind this will just come from underneath and we'll tuck it up inside there. So that's going to get welded in permanently. After he tack welds that stuff in too, I've got my plates ready over here. These are all cut and drilled, and I'm going to have him tack weld the back plate onto both sides of this, and then I'll jump onto the front and weld in our posts. right, we got our plates tacked up here and here, and I'm realizing I probably don't have any hardware to bolt that thing in when we get there, but I'll have to find some or go buy some. And this is the bash bar, not bash bar. Hopefully we will not be bashing this bar. This is the dash bar right here, and they've tack welded in the supports, so it's chilling there. And then we're gonna go ahead and cut and design some full-on supports and then fully weld this thing in. Lots of good progress on our dash bar. So what you guys saw there is the guys were cutting up these reinforcement plates. These mount the dash bar to our other dash bar. So there's one of these on each side over there, as well as a tube that goes in right here. The rest of the stuff that you're seeing is a support that's going to get knocked out after we do all the finished welding. So Eric is going to go ahead and weld that whole thing up. And then what I did over here was put the plates on the end of our posts, and now I've just grabbed some random hardware. I'm gonna buy the right hardware later, and I'm gonna go ahead and bolt the posts in right here and here, and that's basically what we're doing for our frame rail extensions for now. So then I can start building on the radiator mount to the bottom of these. Now, in the long run, there's gonna be a bar that comes across here and connects these two things, but we don't, like I said, we don't know where that is, so we're not welding one of those on right now. All right, let's start with the boring stuff first. I bolted on my new tubes. They're great. Obviously, like we said, we'll trim those, but they're straight, they're square, everything's lining up, so that's really good. We'll fully weld all that once we're happy with the way that the rest of the front impact bar looks. Moving on to our dash bar. This is the cool part. So we got these things welded in here, and then Oscar made these really awesome plates right here that have the gussets like built into them, so it'll stop from horizontal sway. There's one on that side as well, and then one right there. So our dash bar is mounted in. We haven't quite discussed what's next, so be right back. All right, we've decided we're gonna play around, test fit some stuff in this area. Okay, well, I didn't expect to have all this stuff mounted, but Eric let it get away from him, and we just kept throwing stuff at it to see if it would all fit. It is very awesome. It's cramped like we thought it would be, but the pedal situation is actually not that cramped. We actually need to move the brake pedal, which is right there, over about 3 inches, so it's more in the kind of natural space for the driver. Remember, the gas pedal is completely remote. It's just hooked up by a wire. And remember that catalytic converter gets cut out of the car, so that's gonna get cut out. The exhaust will drop down a little bit faster, gives us a little bit more foot room. That's where the gas pedal goes. This is where our steering wheel goes, which, as you can see, is pretty close to the floorboard, so it's a little tight of a squeeze to get in, but hey, we knew it was gonna be tight when we put a V10 in under the dashboard. What else? What else? The steering column is looking good. It comes down right here where we're going to build our extension that'll go underneath and connect into our steering rack. The brake booster location is looking really good. It goes to right here where we're going to build a plate and bolt in the brake booster, so that's all really good. Are we missing something else? Oh no, it's just the brake booster. Yeah, so like I said, brake booster goes right there. Happy days. Now, how do we mount some of this stuff in legitimately? All right, actually, since that all fits a lot better than we expected it to, and it's actually gonna be a lot easier than we thought, we're gonna switch gears to the radiator, because this is kind of a two-person job, to at least get the bottom mounting clips welded on here, and then I'll work on the top part. This is sweet. We got the radiator mounted. So we welded those little plates right here, and the radiator is now sitting on its shelves. Now, I was gonna build the top part of the radiator. For the top part of the radiator, I have a plan. I'm gonna build a plate up to here that gives me a bracket right here, and then we're gonna build a, just like we did on the Aston Martin actually, a two-piece 2-bar rail across the top with a dimple die plate in the middle. And then what that does is, once we put the top part of the radiator back together, in the middle of that plate there will be some like kind of dowels that will go down and sit right here and right here that will press onto the radiator just like the stock M5 does. So it's pretty cool. We're just building, we're installing just like the stock M5, except we're leaning it back just a little bit. Now the reason I can't do that tonight was because on the bottom of these ledges there are these little rubber feet, and I lost one somehow. Either it got knocked off in an accident, I never had it, or I lost it. So I've already ordered new ones, but until I can have a foot on each side, I can't find out the actual height for this. And obviously without knowing the actual height for this thing, it's gonna be hard to build such a fine-tuned like little piece that goes right there. So I'm going to wait on that. I'm gonna delay on that just a little bit until that piece comes in. But this is more or less where the radiator is gonna live and where it's gonna stay. So that's pretty cool. Oil cooler is gonna come in, like land right in there too. And I test fit our front bumper, and that is gonna give, like, it's gonna have plenty of room and just gonna look really great. So yeah, I'm very excited about how that landed and how that worked out. Now that the guys are out of here and things have slowed down a little bit, I wanna give you a little bit more of a look at this now that it's kind of together for the first time. So coming into the car, you're gonna have to kind of slide in a little bit. And the steering wheel is definitely a little bit to the left of the car, but that's really no problem. So the steering wheel is actually mounted in the same OEM spot from BMW. We used the mounting bracket inside the dash bar that was there, so that's why the steering wheel bolted up so quickly. And our stereo fits, and we learned that we have to keep this stereo because that has a lot of the brains for that computer right there. So that's very, very cool. And that's how far the dash is going to come out into the cabin and how far back the pedals are going to be. So the leg, the leg space is, knee is definitely going to be bent when you're in this car, but it's nothing too, that's not too crazy of a bend. It's nothing too bad. There's actually a good deal more room. I could straighten this leg straightened all the way out, so we could put the gas pedal back there. We're gonna have to modify the brake pedal anyway, so we can scooch that thing back a little bit too. Obviously it's not even mounted up to anything yet, so, but yeah, plenty of room to scoot it back and a nice cool driving angle. Can't really like stiff arm it, and drive like lean back, like real lean back, but you can definitely drive at a comfortable distance away from the steering wheel. So that's good too. It's a little bit lower than I'm used to, but we're gonna have to be sitting somewhat high in this car to be able to even see out of it, so it's pretty awesome. It's also tilt wheel too, and we don't know what setting it was set at when we pulled it out of the car, so we could still use this little control right here that tilts the wheel up and down, and we could tilt it up and down a little bit as we see fit. Overall though, I'm very, very, very stinking excited about how well the dash fit in here and how good it's looking and how we have a steering wheel. All right guys, well that is a wrap. Big thanks to Honey for sponsoring today's episode, guys. Links in the description. And big thanks to Oscar for coming out today. A lot of you guys have mentioned that there's just not enough time for you guys to get this car running before SEMA, and to be honest, that's kind of true. But if I can get some help from a few more friends to come in here and have more days like today, I think it's going to become a possibility. We have a very long list. We're getting close to halfway through the month, but we have a very long list of things that are still yet to be done. But I got a lot of friends that are going to come in and help out and stuff like that. So maybe we'll get it together. One thing I forgot in the last episode is I forgot to thank the person that gave me that fuel cell. I didn't buy that fuel cell. That was secondhand. Somebody had bought it and they didn't end up using it on their project. So Bobby K, if you're out there, you're watching, thanks so much for hooking me up with that fuel cell. That was really cool, and I'm sorry I forgot to thank you in the last episode. And there are supports still to come that we're going to weld in under that fuel cell. I did a bunch of research today about fuel cells, and I'm rambling, but anyways, that one's chill. Don't worry about it, guys. We're not going to blow up like a Pinto, and I have lots and lots of reasons why, but it's going to be fine. So that's cool. New fuel pump came in today. New radiator comes in 2 days. All of it's coming together. It's coming together. All right, guys, that's it. I got a jet. I will see you tomorrow.